Well, the snow has melted back good enough we could get up into this area I've been wanting to get to. Now today I got Jeff and Kellen with me, but just way downstream. Kellen headed upstream. Don't know why. Gold's right here. What we're going to cover today is, this is a new creek, never been here before. The only thing I know about this area is way upstream there's a hydraulic pit. And that's pretty obvious by there's little rocks here and there. I'll show you all that. But basically what I want to do is cover why I'm here, why I think the gold's here, and how we do our checking on a new creek to see if it's worth exploring further. Okay, let's talk about, the first thing we want to talk about is the layout of the creek itself, the canyon. Now this canyon is very steep, and I've gone up on the sides and there's no gravel showing whatsoever on the sides. They look totally natural, and there's been no mining activity that I can see on either side of this creek. Okay, so let's concentrate on the creek itself. Now we're on the inside of a turn. The creek is making a slow turn here. So we're on the inside of the turn towards the top end of the turn. I prefer either the upper end of a turn or the tail of the turn. In the middle, there's usually too much gravel, too much stuff. Now, we're on the turn. The next thing we want to look at is the bedrock. You look at the bedrock is worn pretty good. It's smooth, but I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it's got a bit of a shine to it. So this is good, hard bedrock. The green color tells me it's hard, and you'll notice there are cracks in this bedrock, and there are crevices up and down the creek. The reason you look for good, hard bedrock is you want bedrock that's going to erode very slowly. That way the gold has hundreds, thousands of years to build up in the cracks and crevices before that wears off. You have an area where you have soft bedrock like slate or something, it's got, 10, 20 years to build up, and then it breaks and it's gone. So this is really good bedrock. Okay, now let's take a look at the rocks, the gravel, what's here, and let's find a good spot to do our first test pan. Now right here, we have what I consider a really good spot. We've got a big boulder here, and you'll notice how this boulder is laying. This boulder was put here by the creek because it's laying naturally how it would stop in the flow, as opposed to if this was standing up or something, well then it may have been rolled over here by somebody looking for gold. But you'll see how they're stacked, they're all laying here. Now this is bedrock. We got quartz rocks from the hydraulic pit. We got decent size rocks in here, which tells me that this spot right here gets a lot of gravel going over it, and we have a good flow right here. Okay, the other thing we're looking for is you have to find a spot where the gold has the opportunity to drop out of the flow. And right here, you have, your water's going to come up this bedrock and roll right in behind here. So this whole area right here would be good. And our first pan's just going to be the gravel right here on top, because that'll give us a good overall feel for this area. Now, if the gravel looks good, then we know we can spend a little time on this area. Now, the reason I want to check this spot, we're going to take the gravel basically right off the top, because what I'm looking for is the worst gravel in the best spot. So this is as bad as it's going to get here. And if this looks good, then we know we stand a chance to find some gold in the best spot. Okay, I'm going to dig down a little bit because I know there's going to be no gold on the surface. And we want to make sure we give it the opportunity to produce some gold. But like I say, we want to make sure we stay where it's not so good. That's good enough for our first test pan. I'll be right back. Now we got claim jumpers. We found no gold, but I'm calling this a pretty good looking pan. With the sun out, I can't see a thing, so hopefully you can see here, we've got some really coarse black sand. This is our next best spot. Still not the best spot, but this is better, so we're going to take a quick look at this. We have bedrock up here where our gold can come along over this bedrock and then circle here. So it's very small crevice. Now I'm just going to go along, smack everything with the hammer, loosen it up. Okay, well, we don't have a whole lot of gravel, but we got enough. I'll be right back. Got that panned out, we got gold. Let me show you. A nice coarse black sand and some nice little pieces there. Okay, well, I'm going to clean this up with the snuffer bottle. Then let's jump to the best spot because it's getting really hot here and it's really hard to shoot in the sunshine. So let's see if we can find some decent gold. Now right here, we got rocks laid in here, packed. We got bedrock right here. Now, if we dig down in here and there's a catch, we'll find gold. If there's no catch, then we're not going to find anything. So let's take a quick look. Now these rocks we're pulling out are actually pretty good looking rocks. And this gravel is nice and packed. So let's just hope once we get down here, we got something that'll catch the gold and hold it. And well, I got that dug out. I'm pretty sure we got gold, but our crevice didn't have a catch in it. It was packed real good. The bottom looks fairly rough, but like I say, I'm 90% sure we got, got gold in here, but I don't think we got the best gold. I'll be right back. I'm gonna pan it out. Got a fairly decent pan of gold. Let me show you. Okay, with being in the sun, I can't see a thing. So hopefully you can see we got one nice picker here and all kinds of really fine gold all throughout here. Well, I'm going to clean this up, pack everything up, and I think there's better gold in the shade. Let's go find out. Kellen and I moved upstream to a nice shady spot, and we were comparing each other's gold, and I think he must have smelt it because the next thing we know, here he comes running.
No, I wasn't running. That was for sure, I didn't run.
But we moved upstream, I don't know, 100 yards or so, but at least we're in the shade here. So we'll do a little looking around, see if I can find us a spot we want to look at up here. Okay, I moved upstream a little bit, found me a shady spot. Now the last spot we were in, we were at the beginning of a gravel bar, you know, at the top of a turn. Here, we're at the end of the turn. Now the gold's going to hug the inside coming around the turn, and the camera's set on the gravel bar. Right about in here, the gravel bar ends, so the gold is leaving the gravel bar right in this area. Now, the problem we have is we have no good catches here. I have one right here where there's a rock stuck in the crevice. I don't know if that continues or not, but we're going to do the same thing we did down there. First thing we're going to do is just take a pan right here off the top, see what our black sand and our gravel looks like. Got the first test pan, be right back. Well, this pan doesn't look so good to me. Now, what I expected to find was finer black sand and more of it than we had at the last spot. What I ended up with is finer black sand, but not very much of it, and no gold. This black sand is pretty fine, and there's really not that much of it. Well, I'm going to go ahead, even though it doesn't look very good, I'm going to go ahead and dig this one little crack out, see what happens. Then I'm going to look around here and see if I can find something a little more substantial. Okay, don't have a lot of gravel, but there was a little bit in there, and maybe there'll be some gold in there. Don't have big hopes, though. Be right back. Well, we ended up a little bit coarser sand, half a dozen little tiny fly specks, but that's it. Okay, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go around this corner a little bit, see if I can find us a better spot. Well, I went upstream and I found out why we're not finding gold here. Let me show you why we're not finding gold right here. Now, when you're looking at a spot to mine on a creek, you want to look, you know, like I say, in the general outlay of the creek, the bedrock. Well, you have obstacles in the creek that also affect the flow and where the gold is. Right there is a prime example. We're at the tail end of the gravel bar. Everything should be good there, but it's not. Well, just in front of that, I couldn't see it because of the brush. The bedrock juts out, and this is going to push all the flow to that side, and it's going to hit that wall, and what it does is it puts us in a back eddy where we're not getting a straight shot. The water's coming around. The gold's over here, not over here where we were looking. That's why we had that light black sand. Now, right in front of this, where it's getting hit hard, we have a couple of crevices that look pretty good to me. Our odds are we're either going to find little to no gold, but if we do find gold, it's going to be heavier because it's in a direct flow. Let's go up there and take a look. Well, I managed to get back in the sun. Okay, that crevice is right here. That bedrock wall is right there. Now this crevice is not perfect, but it's a nice crevice and it's got gravel stuck in it. Okay, well, let's dig this thing out, see if we got any gold. Okay, well, I got that about halfway cleaned out, but I think I might have got the best of it. So I'm gonna take this down, pan it, see if there's anything in there. Crevice looked really good. There was gravel packed all the way to the bottom. Got that panned out, and we got one little picker and one fly speck. Let me show you the picker. There, nothing to write home about, but better than nothing. I'm going to put this in a bottle. I'll finish this crevice. I don't have a whole lot of hope for it because I think we got the best. But since I did find one, we're going to go ahead and finish it out. If I find anything good, I'll definitely turn the camera back on. If not, I'm going to pack everything up, head downstream, see if I can find Jeff and Kellen. And if they got anything good, I'll turn the camera back on. If not, I'll see you back at the house. Back at the house, and you guessed it, it's the next day. Well, I got back down where Jeff and Kellen were, and they had only found a little bit more of the flying gold that they'd been finding, so didn't set the camera back up. Well, I got that gold that I found all cleaned up, and I was surprised. There was a lot of really, really tiny fly specks, but they went through the 50 mesh. So everything that went through the 50 mesh, you know, we just throw that in the end of the year cleanup. But everything else, sitting in a tray over there. So what do you say we jump over there, see how we did? Okay, let's see how we did. First, we're going to go on pennyweights. 0.49 pennyweight, or 0.76 grams. Well, 3/4 of a gram on a creek I've never been at before, I'm okay with that. We've discovered several things. Number one, there is gold there. Another thing is there's detectable gold there, so we may have to head back up there with the detector. But another thing I was thinking was, I think the best gold in that creek is going to be found in the creek, because that's good hard bedrock. So I'm thinking there's some crevices in the water that a guy might do pretty good if he does a little sniping. So I'm thinking there might be some sniping videos in the future, but it's going to be in the future. Right now, that water is really, really cold. So I figure we give it a couple, 3 weeks to warm up. Also, this time of year, when it's so hot in the valley, I really like the hydraulic pits because they're, 4,000 or 5,000 feet and a lot cooler. So we're starting to look at heading up, doing a little work in hydraulic pits. Well, I'm not sure what we're going to do. All I know for sure is we're going to be doing something. Okay, well, that's all I got on this one. So I'm out of here. You guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video.